In today's world, athletes continue to search for something to give them an added boost to their performance. Whether it is a high school basketball player or the star running back on an NFL team, most athletes strive to do anything they can to get an edge over the competition. In this video, we will try and answer a question that has been asked countless times by athletes and scholars. Does music have an effect on athletic performance? Music has been described as a powerful tool that can have many effects on the human mind. But what happens when music is combined with training or athletics? I sat down with Sol Kim, a soccer player in the Gainesville area that competes on multiple intramural teams at the University of Florida, to see what he has to say on the issue. What sport did you play in high school?
I played soccer in high school.
Did you listen to music before your matches?
Yeah, I always listen to music. I always listen to either hip-hop or something hard like rock to get me pumped up.
Do you think that it had a positive effect on you?
Yeah, I always got the blood flowing. Always got me ready for a competition, ready to be physical and dominate the game.
Did you listen to music during practices?
Once in a while, but our coach wanted to talk to us a lot during the practices, so not during practice.
Was music playing during your matches?
Yeah, we always had huge speakers like in our stadium where he would blast music most of the time. We had hip hop like Roy Jones Jr., the boxer. He had this one song called "Can't Be Touched," and that song got all our team pumped up. We also like Young Jeezy, and we just like listening to a lot of rap mostly.
Is there any music genre that negatively affects you?
Yeah, I would say like alternative rock would kind of turn me off because it didn't get me pumped up, and like country, just because it wasn't the right mindset. It just wasn't the right mindset, I guess.
Music has been a part of sports for many years. It is hard to picture a college football game without a marching band or a crowd singing fight songs. In professional leagues, music is not only used to get the crowd excited for the games, but also to pump up the players and keep them motivated. I asked George Pappas, a part of the University of Florida Athletic Association, what he notices during the games he covers. What is your position with the UF Athletic Association?
I am the public address announcer for the men's and women's tennis team, and I also work freelance through the UAA at football games, doing in-game sound, and I also do Gator Sports Reports for Gator Vision.
When you are working at an athletic venue, what do you notice about the music being played?
Well, music is just one of those things that really it makes for an electric atmosphere, I feel, be it from the standpoint of a fan observing or somebody that's just there to enjoy the game experience, or for the athletes as well. I know just from having been around the teams, while they're competing and whatnot, while they're trying to get ready for games, and during the course of the game, I know they kind of feed off of the music to harness a bit more of that energy and some competitive spirit. So I think from that standpoint, the music really can dictate, certainly dictate a mood for any athletic event for that matter.
How do you think the marching band affects the teams?
Well, I mean, when you think of college football, for example, one thing that immediately comes to mind is the marching band and the drum line. That's one thing that's emblematic of the game at the collegiate level. It makes it different, for example, from the NFL. Obviously, pro teams don't have that, but it certainly makes for a very unique feel. Obviously, every marching band I think has a little bit of a different style that makes them their own. And if you're at a UF football game, it's clearly evident, from start to finish, the presence of the marching band. The same goes for basketball as well. But it helps people get into the game. It definitely keeps the crowd involved, and it's an integral part of the fabric that is college sports.
How do you think other music affects the teams during their games?
Well, I just know this is something that I can relate pretty easily just from my work with the tennis team. For example, the players have their own playlists during the pregame that they use to warm up with. They make their own song requests. I know, for example, I was just talking with Alex Lacroix the other day. He's the #1 player on the tennis team and an All-American for that matter. He's one of the highest-rated players in the country. Alex, for example, has his own favorite song that he likes to warm up with. He really likes his Swedish House Mafia and all that European techno and good stuff because it has a driving bass line. It's electric, is what he said. But the music during the course of a game, the recorded music, for example, all those playlists and whatever, the players really do feed off of that. It helps them get quote unquote amped up for their games, and I think it's also the crowd as well. The crowd does enjoy that too.
So what is it about music that drives players to work harder? A study done at Brunel University concluded that the correct type of music can increase athletic performance by as much as 20%. For some people, music can distract them from the stress and fatigue they experience during working out. Some may feel like the music may distract them away from performing correctly and therefore have a negative effect on them. However, the study went on to say that music can change the moods of athletes and uses rhythm to synchronize movements and aid in muscle memory. This requires a certain type of music, however. I visited the University of Florida's Southwest Recreation Center and asked 20 different people what music they preferred to listen to when they worked out. 8 people said hip-hop, 8 people said rock or heavy metal, 3 said techno, and 1 said country. I also asked the same 20 people if they were satisfied by the music the gym played. In an overwhelming majority, 18 people said no, while the other 2 said yes. I interviewed Harry Frank, a frequent visitor of Southwest Rec, to see his thoughts on the subject. Do you listen to music when you work out?
Of course, man. You gotta listen to music. Without music, I don't even feel like going to the gym.
What kind of music?
I generally try to hit it up with heavy metal, hit up some Suicide Silence, some, Austro Paris and all that good stuff.
Why do you think it affects your performance?
If you don't listen to music, you can't get pumped. You can't get the tempo up. You get slow and lazy. You just feel like quitting if you don't have music.
Are there any negative effects of listening to music?
Nah, no negative effects. If you don't listen to music, you suck.
What about different genres of music?
If you're listening to country, you just need to exit the gym because you're not gonna do anything.
Do you think if you didn't have music, would your performance suffer?
Probably, because one time my iPod got broke, and I went to the gym without it, and I worked out for like 30 minutes and just left because I didn't have my music with me.
It is very clear that music can have a significant effect on athletic performance. However, these effects stem from psychological changes that music may bring about. Music does not simply trigger muscle growth or improvement, but rather, the brain can have dominant physical effects on the body because of sensory response. This can also be related to how people claim to undergo trances or out-of-body experiences when listening to music, especially in different types of world music. While this debate may seem opinionated, the evidence and statistics point in the direction that music can very much indeed affect athletic performance.